had my water shut off. Somehow the last 2 months, even though I live by myself, my water bill spiked up to $300 for each month. That's $600 for the last 2 months, basically. And just turned on the water here for a second because we went through the house to see if there's any leaks. And right off the bat, you see this thing's already filling up with water. It's only been on for maybe a minute. There's water leaking out of this connection, which the city connects to the meter. And then on their little nipple turn thing here, there's a big water leak there.
Valve.
The valve is leaking. So that's basically why, and they want me to pay, like I said, about a little over $500 for the last 2 months plus the $70 turn-on fee. And they're probably going to claim that it must be something on my end. Looking underneath the house for any leaks or anything. All the water lines, everything is good. Just checked in the house, every single connection. There's no leaks anywhere, and I'm now actually underneath the house. You don't hear anything. I've looked from the other side also, so I can get a complete view underneath the house. There's the water for the downstairs. As you can see, this is totally, completely empty. No one's been living in here.
Solid case.
Alright, so just went through the house, coming back down here. And as you can see, the meter is going. Everything is shut off completely downstairs, not leaking or anything like that. Checked every bathroom, sink. That's pretty much all there is. Again, there's no washing machine or anything like that. So there's no leaks inside, but there's one right there you can see.
I don't think you got enough light in there to see that.
Alright, so here's my bill. Showing the water usage for the last 2 months somehow jumped up.
It did, only the last two. Right here it's lower than mine. See that?
No, because look at yours. Mine has 40, 0 to 40, and yours is 0 to 10.
10.
Yep. They always, yeah, they always show me as more. I've been complaining about the water usage here for 10 years, ever since I've been here. So this is how much.
When I used to pay 20, 30 bucks.
Recording. So right now they're asking total amount $525.03 plus a turn-on fee. And as you can see, the last 2 months, who knows why it's been skyrocketing that like that. It's obviously because of the water. Here's my neighbor's bill. And how much is your monthly bill?
$85.
$85 a month. Okay. So $85. You live right across the street from me. You have a pool, right? You have a washing machine, a washer, a dryer.
Yes.
I don't use any of that. I have a house here that I live in alone. No washer, dryer. Don't put any pool water in. Don't water my lawn. You water your lawn at all? No? That's too expensive, but I don't water it anyways. I never have.
That's why I don't do it.
And would love to know how in 2 months, $525.
There it is right there.
Yep.
The valve is dysfunctional.
Okay, that's the bill. It's $525.03.
Okay.
But we can't turn it on today.
No, that's fine.
Because it's after 4.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to put a dispute up on here because I live at this property by myself. It's a duplex. The downstairs isn't rented out. There's no furniture in there at all. Like, you know what I mean? You could just walk in there and tell. I don't put water in my pool. I don't water my lawn. I don't even have a washer dryer. I have to go to a laundromat. So it's completely impossible for these last 2 months to be that high. Now I noticed that there was a leak on the point where it comes into the house before and after in the plumbing. I checked my house. I went underneath the house into the little underground area where the water pipes are above actually. And there's no leaks or anything like that. I went and checked all the plumbing downstairs. The downstairs plumbing is completely turned off, so the water can't even get to the faucets. The upstairs I checked. I'd be able to see if there was a leak, especially for 2 months. And on the ground, you can't have a leak on the pipes, from the city coming in, but there would be I mean, it may not go all the way to the top, but you'll notice plants and things like that. And there's...
Yeah, but anything that's before the meter will show on our bill, not on your bill.
Okay.
So anything after the meter will show up on your bill.
Well, you have something on... Yeah, it leaks before and after it.
So you're saying there's a leak at the actual meter itself?
There's a leak right after the connector. I'm just saying a few inches after it, and there's a leak a few inches before it in the plumbing.
Okay.
And
I can have someone go out to take a look.
Okay. I'd actually taken a picture of that before also, and video of it leaking. But again, it's not like I'm, run some kind of business out of my house or anything like that. There's no way I could use that.
I have a customer in front of me who's stating that there's a leak at the meter. It's 433 Nottingham Boulevard. Is it a heavy leak? Is it a lot of water? Or?
Not, I mean, it's leaking. It's, filling up the little thing, the little basin that you look into that has the meter.
He would say his bill for 2 months is $581.03. So. First name Vilem. Last name Demel. And phone number 561-312-5447.
Yeah.
My name is Deidre. Okay. Will you be home later?
Later today?
Today.
I'll be home in about an hour and a half.
He said he'll be home probably like an hour and a half. So. I do. Okay, you're all set. They're going to send someone out there.
Okay.
Okay. You're just going to pay this over to the cashier.
Well, I'm not going to, again, I don't feel I'm responsible for this.
Okay.
So I want to...
He's in severance right now, so...
You got the video of it leaking. Now he says somebody has come here since you and I
because what
looked
they
at it.
did when they
tightened this up. Somebody tightened this up.
Okay,
Then
I had
plugged it.
a guy came earlier today, right?
Yeah, and they turned it
And
off.
he turned it off.
Put a plug in it.
When he turned it off, I said to him, it was leaking there, right? And he goes, nah, that's not your problem. It's not leaking there. It's leaking from right there. I'm like, no, it's leaking from this connection right here, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, not really. I'm like, no, it's leaking from because he was here.
He took a video.
And then I told the guy, I go, listen, I have it on video that it was leaking. And he's like, well, look, I tightened it up. And I go, okay, but it was leaking, right? And he's like, well, yeah, but I mean, it's nothing that would have caused, because I showed him the bill.
That's why it stopped leaking. The thing is,
because I have the bill right here, sir.
you have everything.
And
off,
if you
right?
want to,
that doesn't help me, but
okay. But all I'm showing on this is like, look at how high
See that?
this is.
You see that jump up for the last 2 months?
right.
That certainly is a problem.
But if you have a video of it leaking
Yes,
here,
we
you
do.
need
Yes,
to
we do.
take that downtown. As the guy out in the field, he can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of them are good, some of them are
Right.
idiots.
I mean, at first he was literally saying, no, it wasn't leaking, and then when I told him, like, listen, I have a video of this from yesterday.
Yeah.
Turn it on that it's
You
leaking.
need to take that down to customer service and show them the video.
I'll be in here 1 second. Okay. Thank you. Okay, the only problem is if you don't pay the bill, they won't turn the water on. So they can go out and check the leak, but they're going to turn it back off.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, once they see that the thing's leaking, I'm gonna get.
Well, it takes about 2 to 3 days if that's the case, and I can't say whether it is or not.
Yeah, I mean, I just got back from Boston. I went up there to help a friend. Yeah, and it came back Saturday. The water was gone, and a guy came by today and put the lock thing on there.
Right.
He saw that it was leaking on his end, and he said that's no big deal that it was leaking on their end. And I said, you saw it leaking on my end?
Because it would show on our bill and not yours. That's why.
Right. He said, yeah, he saw that it was leaking on my end. He did admit to it, but he said it's not anything that, because I showed him the bill, and I said, how can, again, he's in front of my house. I said, look at my house. You see I'm the only one living here. How can the water be this high? He's like, oh, well, you must have a leak. And I said, you're welcome to go in and see.
They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to go into the property. They stop at the meter.
Right. But what I'm saying is if you guys want to say that it's a leak on my end, you're welcome to turn on the water and inspect the property.
We're unable to. We're not authorized to go on the property. Even if you're giving permission, the city of West Palm Beach is not authorized to check for any leaks. You'd actually have to have a plumber check it out. Although whether you feel as though there is or not, we can't make that decision.
But how can the city say that there's a leak, but they won't go look or anything like that, and they're right there in front of the house?
We haven't said that it was a leak though. What you were saying is that that there's a leak at the meter. What we're going to do is go and investigate the meter. That's where we stop at. We don't go to the property. If there is a leak before the meter, then it shows up on the city's bill, actual bill, just like how you have. If it's after the meter, it's going to show up on your bill.
Do you guys fix that if it's on your side? You guys
if it's on our side, we fix it.
For yourself.
If it's on your side, we can't touch it at all.
But if the leak is on the actual pipe,
if it's on the meter, we can correct
what I'm
that.
saying is if it's the meter that has a little pipe that's maybe 6 inches long and that's connecting right there to the house, you know what I mean, right there in that box, that's obviously not my fault or my responsibility, right?
I can't
because that's
make
where you
that.
guys would connect.
That's strictly between dispatch. That's out of our hands. That's why I called over to dispatch to have them go and have someone check it out.
Okay. So,
but the only problem is, again, even if they say that it is or not, that would be if for example, if we don't find anything, it's up to you to contact the plumber to get everything repaired. We can't just make an adjustment to the bill.
Okay, but if there's nothing to repair on, that's what I'm saying is there is no leaks. I've checked.
If there's no leaks, then you're responsible for the filled bill.
Okay, if there's no leaks and I haven't been using that much water, and it's technically impossible for me to use that much water, and as you can see through the history, I've never used that much water, how is it still my responsibility? Like, because obviously there's something incorrect with the bill itself.
But
there's nothing wrong with the property, and there's nothing wrong with me using the water.
And that's the reason why on every bill you have a printout of the actual usage, what your reading is this time, what your reading was last time.
Okay, so
you're always able to go out to double check. If you feel as though our reading is inaccurate, you have every right to go out to see what that meter reading is, and it's printed on every single bill, including your meter number.
Okay, so if that number is incorrect, which it is, what's the next step? Because I shouldn't be responsible for. I'll pay my bill, but I'm not paying 5 times what the water usage is when I haven't used that water and there isn't a leak on my end. And it's not
like I said, you could always go out to see what the meter reading is, but again, if not, then you're responsible for it. There's nothing that we can do, and they won't restore the.
Who would be responsible for that? Because you guys are the water department. So if the water department isn't responsible,
the owner of the property is responsible. That has nothing to do with the city of West.
The owner of the property is responsible for your water meter?
No, for any leaks on the property.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right. So if you're saying that first of all, we've gone out to read the meter twice. If it's showing that it's inaccurate, that means that the numbers would be inaccurate also.
What goes on the meter has nothing to do with me. I know that I'm not using this much water, and I know I have no leaks. And I know that I'm not responsible for the amount of water usage because that water isn't being used. If I was using that much water and I had been washing cars or had a business or mowing, filling up a pool or something like that, I understand. That's my responsibility. But if I haven't gotten the water to use the water...
But we're showing from here, this is the second month that it's been high. So, again, when we went out again to check the meter, it's showing that the reading was accurate. So you're saying it wasn't accurate, but I don't know if you've gone out to look at the meter or not. That's not our argument. We can't, we have nothing to go by. We have to go by what the meter says. So, our hands are tied. If there's a leak there, or if you're saying there's not a leak there, then it's actual water usage.
It's not actual water usage.
I don't know what else it could be. If the meter wasn't working
I know it's the meter is incorrect, or your reporting.
But if the meter isn't again, it's showing the usage going up. The meter is going to spin.
It's not showing the usage going up. It's showing my water's been pretty consistent. I've been here for 10 years, and then the last 2 months it jumps up 5 times as much. Now no one's moved in. I live here by myself. I've lived there by myself. Nothing has changed on the property. Don't have a washing machine, don't have a dryer, don't have a dishwasher, don't have...
So to us, it appears that it's a possible leak. So we can't say whether it is or not, again, because we don't have access.
If the gentleman comes out and he turns on the thing and sees that there's a leak coming out of the pipe, okay, from where you guys
they'd have to go from it. I can't make that decision here, is what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying, that's fine. You can't make the decision now because no one's come out there. That's
correct.
Fine and granted. If they come out and they see there's a leak, and then they look and they can tell, hey, there's just one guy living here by himself.
That's not the way.
Okay, well that's fine. But listen, I'm just saying you use common sense. They say, oh, okay, this doesn't make any sense. The bill doesn't make any sense, and there's a leak here. Then obviously this would get adjusted, correct?
Again, if there's a leak, it's different. Whose side is the leak on? If the leak is on your side, you're responsible.
The leak is on the pipe, the 6-inch pipe, where the meter is on.
But again, we're not.
But I didn't put the. I didn't put the meter on.
Okay, so the only thing we can do at this point is wait for dispatch to go out to make that decision, because we're going on what if scenarios.
Right.
There
so
is no
my only question is, if they find out that there is a leak in the meter itself, okay?
Again, I can't give you an answer to a what if scenario. We can come up with thousands of what ifs. You're saying, what if it's on the pipe, on the meter, and so forth. We can go into 50,000 scenarios.
It's not a what if. I'm saying if they come out and they find that there's a leak, okay, on the meter itself, and that's causing water to come out that I'm obviously not using because it's
if it's on the meter, it's on our side.
Right.
It's not affecting your bill. It's not going to show up. I've already gone over that.
You have a pipe, right? No, listen. I'm saying there's a meter right here in the center, and you have to put the pipe into the plumbing, and as the water goes through, it reads it. Okay. Now, if I put the little 6-inch thing and I connect it here and I connect it here, it's leaking here on this side, and it's leaking right here on this side.
We're not dispatched, so I understand what you're explaining to me. I haven't seen your meter. We don't service any meters.
I'm not asking if you understand what I'm saying. I'm just asking a simple question. Okay. So the leak is on the meter itself. It's leaking because of the meter that you guys installed. I'm obviously not able to use the water, and the water isn't coming into my house.
Again, they would make that decision from there. I can't tell you
that's not my question. My question is, if that's the determination, okay, then do I get money back or credit showing that obviously I haven't been using?
I can't make that decision from here. That's between you and dispatch when they come out.
Okay, is that your policy? Is a very simple question.
That goes all through dispatch. They actually create reports and everything. That's a totally different department from what we are.
No, dispatch handles. So dispatch is going to give me back money or not give me back money? No, it's here.
Right. They have to fill out reports and they go from there. Again, that takes even if it's going to be 2 or 3 days before something.
So if it's either yes, it's my responsibility or not. So if I find that it wasn't because of me, then you're not telling me. You're telling me I'm not going to get my money back, or I am going to get my money back.
I don't know that at this time because again they haven't gone out.
Well, what's your policy? You guys have to have a policy on that.
No, if it's a leak on your side, then you're responsible.
Right. If it's not on my side, then I'm not responsible.
Right, but you have to take into consideration this isn't the first month you've had a high bill. So we're looking
only
at
the second month, right? And then I was way up in Massachusetts.
So we normally do it within 20 days. We're now into the second month.
Right.
Okay, so that's 30 plus 30.
Right.
Okay.
I'm aware of that.
So again, it's not on our side.
So I don't get any money back. So if I find out that it's not my fault, I don't get money back?
From here. I can't make that decision. Again, that's a what if. I can't make that.
It's not.
Is there a leak or is there not a leak?
Yes, there's a leak.
Okay. On whose side?
Both sides.
Okay. Where is that leak?
The first leak on the left side, the street side, is in the thing that you turn to turn the water on and off, and the second leak is on the pipe.
Okay. Question: why didn't you report this to us sooner than today? Because the service is now off.
Okay, because I came home Saturday. I was up in Massachusetts, like I said, because of the hurricane.
But this is the second month you've had a high bill.
I didn't know that. I didn't pay last month's bill. That's why I just got shut off. So I didn't know that.
Exactly.
I wasn't expecting
that's exactly
to have.
why I can't make that decision. Because if we would have known this, if you would have come to us and said, "Oh, there's a leak in the meter," last month when your service was still on, then we could have gone out earlier than today. Now that your service is off, you're in a totally different scenario.
There's a statute of limitations on it?
That's not up to me. That's up to dispatch.
You're saying all these things, but then you're not making any statements in it. So you're saying there's a statute of limitations. Had I told you about it last month, I would get a refund.
You never heard that come out of my mouth at all. I never
said it's a totally different thing. Why would it be a totally different thing?
Because your service is now interrupted.
Right.
Right.
What does that have to do with anything?
A lot, because our technicians are actually going out there to turn your meter on to test it, and then turning it back off.
Right.
They're not leaving it on because your service is not active at this time.
I know, but what does that have to do with anything?
It has a lot to do with it, sir. The bottom line is...
what does it have to do with it then? Because I'm not sure why you're making the statement.
Okay, tell me what your question is then. Maybe I misunderstood.
You don't know my question?
I just asked you to repeat your question. Maybe I misunderstood you.
But you're answering and you don't know the question?
I mean, I did, but you didn't like my answer.
So no, your answer had nothing to do with my question.
I mean,
and it's now funny that you asked me what it is. Could they give me a call when they come out to inspect it?
That's why they asked for the number. You heard me verify.
So they'll call me first?
That's a different department. You said you would be home in an hour and a half, so that's what I told them. I gave them the information you gave me.
Okay, so they're going to call me first before they come out?
I'm assuming that's why they verified the number, sir. That's a different department.
I'm just asking a simple question. It's either yes or no.
Again, I'm assuming that's why they verified the number. I'm not calling from there, so I don't know.
I'm asking questions. I'm not getting any answers. It's kind of strange.
I mean, I've given you all of the answers that I could give you.
The main question I have is if they find that there's a leak and I'm not responsible, do I get a refund?
Again, that's a what if.
I know it's a what if. What is that?
Exactly.
No, I'm saying, what is that?
What is what?
I'm asking if they find a leak and I'm not responsible, do I get a refund?
You don't receive a refund, sir. Again, if
so
they
I'm
determine that
responsible either way.
You're still responsible for a portion of your bill. Absolutely, the water came through your meter. You're not going to get 100% credit towards that bill.
I never said that. I said the whole time. I mean, I'll pay what my regular average is.
No, sir, that's not the way it works.
Okay, so I have to pay the whole thing regardless of whether I'm at fault or not.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to do until
I know it's America, it's a free country. That has nothing to do with my question.
The service won't be turned on until everything is cleared up. So either if they say that you do,
I'm asking
a
very, very direct question.
And I'm answering you directly. Either you're going to.
Okay, here's my direct question. Okay.
Go ahead.
They go out. If you want to say what if, then fine. What if? There's two things that's going to happen. They're gonna come out and they're going to say you're not responsible. This is on our end, or that it's our fault.
If they say that you're not responsible and it's on our end, it's not on your bill. It's not on your bill. That's what I'm explaining to you.
What's not on my bill?
If they're saying that you're not responsible and it's on our side,
right?
Okay. The usage is not on your side. We actually have a City of West Palm Beach bill that usage is on, that we are required to pay. That's what I'm explaining to you. Just because it's the city water doesn't mean
you're
that we don't
talking
have
about something that has nothing to do with I don't care about the bill for the city.
You just said your
my bill.
Okay,
we're not talking about the city's bill. My bill here.
That's not what you said.
That's exactly what I said.
You said if they tell you that you're not responsible,
if they come out, I'll say it again.
If
they come out, to investigate because of this bill to see that I'm paying 5 times as much,
which we do this every day, all day.
Okay, and then they turn on the water and they say, oh, there's a leak right there. Okay, right at the same pipe that we put the meter on, it's leaking out of that. It can't be my fault because I didn't put in the meter, right? Or is it my fault?
I can't say that because I don't know. I don't know whose side it's on. I don't even know if there's a leak. I don't know if you've actually used that water. I don't know if there was 3 people staying there.
So your answer to everything is just you don't know? And
again, they have to make that decision.
Okay.
That's not.
Is there a supervisor here that would know? Because you guys certainly have a policy.
You're someone you could speak with, but no, they're not going to know.
Okay, is there anybody that knows the policies here? Is my question.
I've explained the policy to you.
You have not at all.
I have. You just don't like the answer.
What was my question? Let me ask you that.
Again,
because maybe you don't understand the question. What is my question?
The question is, if it's on your side, are you responsible? Absolutely. Because we don't own the property. The same as if someone goes to tamper with the meter.
That's not my question.
Okay, you're responsible for the bill. You asked me who was responsible for the bill. Are you the owner?
Hold on, I asked you the same question maybe 5 or 6 times, but you didn't.
But you don't like my answer.
No. When I asked you what my question was, you gave me a totally different question.
No,
that's not my question.
I did not. Again, you just didn't like my answer.
No.
You keep telling me that it's on the pipe.
No, listen, I asked you to repeat my question, and you gave me a different question than what I asked. Okay, let me ask you again then.
Sure.
So this way.
I mean, we have all the
time. If there is a water leak, okay, at where the meter is, okay, water is coming out right there at the meter. I'm not able to use it, but I'm getting charged for it because it's going right there through the meter, okay. They turn the water on. They come out to the house. They turn the water on. They see the water's coming out of it, okay. Now they see that there's a leak. It's not my fault. I didn't put in the meter. It's your meter. So if your meter is leaking or incorrect or broken or anything like that, I'm not responsible for that, right? As the homeowner.
Again, I can't make that decision.
I'm asking you your policy.
Correct. Again.
Which is that okay? Then let me know someone who knows the policy. Dispatch knows the policy.
Let me give you their number.
So dispatch makes the policies because it should be someone.
No, they make the decision because they're the ones that's going out. That's why I call them and not one of our guys to go out. But your policy is what I'm asking. I'm not asking what they're going to come out and do. I'm asking your policy. That would be a policy within dispatch, not a policy through utilities through us.
Okay.
I can't give you a policy that we don't have. That's not our decision. We can't do it.
You don't have a basic policy of if there's a
For-
wrong meter?
Right, for water, meaning if it's on your
So
side,
if there's
you
an
pay for it,
incorrect
that's for
meter,
us.
it's still the responsibility of the homeowner. You're going to charge the homeowner just regardless.
Again,
It doesn't
that's-
matter, basically.
It's on the bill. It's on the
What?
bill now.
What's on the bill?
You asked me if there's water usage and there's a leak, are we going to bill the owner? It's on your bill right now. It's showing actual water usage.
No, it's not showing water usage. It's showing what the meter is reading as
That
far
means
as the
that
water
water
coming
was
in.
actually, we charge you for whatever water goes through the meter. Whether you drank it, whether you use it to wash your hands, whether you put it in
Correct.
the lawn, whether it leaked, it came through your meter, it's on your bill. That's what I'm explaining.
Okay, I'm not able to use the water, and it's not my fault. It's the fault of...
Again, if it goes through your meter, it's going to show on your bill no matter what. Even if it's leaking on our side, even though we didn't use it, even if it's leaking on our side, it's going to show up on our bill. That was your question. Will we charge you for it?
According to the guys
Right
that
now,
came
it's on
by
your
today,
bill.
he said when it leaks on your end that you guys don't even care about it.
Unfortunately, we have to still correct it because it still goes on our bill.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not what he said on recording.
I
earlier.
can't vouch for what someone else said.
Okay, so I don't have an answer, unfortunately, but hopefully
But
they'll
you
be able
have
to give me an
dispatch's number right there. I just gave it
answer. Yeah,
to
but they're not. They're just going to refer me back to you. 'cause that's
No,
not their
absolutely
job.
not,
That's kind of
because
your
they're the
job.
ones that's coming out. That's who I called
Who
for.
would? I mean, who would know the policies here?
Dispatch. That's why I gave you their number. That's exactly who's coming out to you.
Dispatch handles policies.
They have to. They are going to send someone out. They're going to have a report for you.
So
and
they
so
don't
forth.
send. So they handle sending people out, and they handle
And-
customer service.
Correct.
And
They
and
actually,
everything
yes,
there,
they
and
have
they handle
customer
the-
service there too. I was just speaking with someone. That's how I set it up through their customer service.
Okay. Now, did you test this meter itself? As far as the flow of water going through
He's
it?
putting work orders in to replace the valve.
See, if it's leaking here or here, that's not costing you money. But if it's leaking there, if you got
Right,
video
that's where
of
it's
that,
leaking.
all you gotta do is take that downtown.
Here.
I'm gonna put a work. This has a computer chip in it, and I'm gonna put in a work order so they come out and do a data logger, and they extract the usage history out of here, and it'll show if there was a leak, and it'll show you usage hour by hour.
See that? That's new technology, buddy. I'm glad this guy's here.
But the thing is, it turns just slightly, which usually when it
See,
turns,
now it just moved. Now it just stopped.
yeah, it moves and stopped. And what that is your toilet tank. The water level goes down just a little,
And the valve
and your
opens
float
it up.
goes down, and then your flapper opens up and sucks in more water.
I feel that. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that before, but it's
mean,
not
you can
like
actually turn-
It's not like it is now. I mean, I can go up there right now, and I'll turn off the water
Right.
to it, and You want me to do
Turn
that?
off the water,
And that way we'll know. Okay, so right now, I'm going ahead, shutting off the water completely. This is to the toilet. You can see it's not leaking out at all. This would be, water would be coming out of it basically if it had any type of leak, because this is how the water gets into the toilet. Alright, I made sure it was completely shut off, and I even took the hose that fills up the tank, and I pulled that out of the water and showed that there's nothing coming out of it at all. It's weird. I know what you're saying, how it stutters like that.
Right.
That's if it was a leaky faucet, it would constantly be going, right?
Right.
There it
But if
goes. It
it's-
just moved. It just moved. I saw it move.
See, that's the thing, is it's moving.
just moved.
But what you got to look at is a 24-hour period over 30 days that is constantly just slowly turning. Like it's
I mean, right now the water's completely shut off, and I got, like I said,
see, it's 7 o'clock at night right now. You could come out, you could take this reading down and then come out at 7 o'clock in the morning and see how it's gone up and multiply that times, double that, because then you'd have a 24-hour period, and then take it times 30.
Yeah, times 30 days. Yeah, sure.
Let me ask you, if this leak was over here on the other side, would that
If it was leaking here and you got video of that, you need to take it downtown.
I'm saying if this was, I mean, I do have video of that, but if this was leaking on this side, would this blue thing be like spinning, like definitely noticeable?
Yeah, if it was leaking here, yeah, that blue thing would spin.
Anytime you got water usage, that blue dial's going to turn.
Yeah, because the toilet's completely shut off, and the downstairs, like I said, the water's.
I can show you. You just don't want to get a sweat.
You got that on right now.
I know.
Okay.
No, I'm just going to show him what he's talking about.
Oh, you fixed it good.
See it?
Yeah, and that's about the leak. Yeah, and that's about what it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it's leak, yeah, even if
See,
it's
now
leaking
what I asked the lady
that,
several times was, listen, if I understand, you know, if somebody comes out and they find that there is a leak coming out of this thing, you know, when I get some type of credit or something, and she was like, no, you're responsible for anything that goes through. And I'm like, but if that's the connection, I mean, how is it?
No, if it's leaking here, you're not responsible for that. If it was leaking back here on this fitting, you would be. This is, you know, the consumer part back here. But here, this is the meter coupling. And the only reason that was leaking is probably because it was loose. To see out. And he probably tightened it down.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he told me he did.
To put the plug in. I mean, I can't. I'm going to.
Because it's the same thing. I mean, just like it's leaking right there, it was leaking, you know, that same amount over on the other side.
I told him everything. Okay. You got the video.
Yeah, and you seen him.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do is put in a work order so they replace this. Brand new.
Is there any way, just for shits and giggles, so that way they could put it on something else, they could replace that meter also?
You don't want a new meter.
I don't?
No, because they're more accurate. The longer they're in the ground, the less accurate they become.
Oh, really? Well, I mean,
the consumer.
I'll take it more accurate. That's fine, because
they're probably not going to replace the meter, but I mean, you can have them. You can request, but there's a charge for that, I think. If you ask him to take the meter out and test it.
Well, he's going to have him put a device on there that's going to check it.
We have new meters that are different from these. They actually have a gray body.
Oh, okay.
And they're even more accurate than these. And if you have a small leak like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, I'm not trying to, you know, like I told the lady, I live here by myself.
I would stay with this meter, seriously. Because it's been in the ground for a couple years, probably, at least.
Yeah, but see, that makes me nervous when that thing isn't moving and then it does move, you know, and again, the toilet's completely shut off. Yeah, but if there was a constant leak, if there was a leak in a pipe or something like that, it would be a constant thing. It wouldn't just freeze and then every, 30, 60 seconds. So
I mean, if you got video of it, you have to take that down there. I mean, they can't dispute that. That's all there is to it.
No, plus I was here to witness it. I'll stand up for him.
Right.
I saw it with my own eyes.
As right now, I mean, they shouldn't even send me out here to do this at night.
I didn't think you were.
I don't know.
I asked her to make sure that they would give me a call when someone came out. She's like, well, I'm assuming they would because that's why they asked me your number, right? And I'm like, I don't know, ma'am. That's why I'm asking you. I'd like to be there when the guy comes. And luckily my neighbor called me when he seen you out here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I'm glad I just happened to come outside when he drove over that truck and I came out here to see what's going on because if I'd have missed him, we wouldn't know nothing here. You know? But those people that work downtown in the office, I mean, they're questionable too, you know? They do as little as they have to, that's my opinion.
Oh, I couldn't get any answers out of her at all. It was the most ridiculous.
You didn't scream loud enough, kid. Take me down there with you. They'll damn sure pay attention to me.
I just wanted to find out if they would adjust my thing if they found out that there was a leak in it.
They're going to have to give you some money back.
Yeah, if you go downtown with the video.
They're going to have to give you some money back. There's no doubt about it. The video tells the story. They have to.
And she was saying it's all because I waited a month. this started last month. She said everything's different now and all. I'm like, what are you talking about? Here's the new meter. Or they turned around the meter for some reason. That's kind of strange. That it's now in the opposite direction. And they came this morning. Today's Tuesday morning. And they replaced that valve right there so it doesn't leak at all either.
It's not on right now, so
but it's interesting that the meter's been turned around to go the other way.
Okay, what she said was that we did find a leak on our side and your side, but you are still responsible for the leak on your side. What she said was she is going to give you the courtesy credit as if it was already repaired, but it's a one-time only credit in 5 years, 100%. So the amount you would have to pay is $408.37 to turn the water back on.
What am I? $408? Okay, so what was taken off the bill?
Let's see. Anybody got a calculator over there? Are you paying anything today?
I don't know, depending on what.
Well, this is the amount. That's the $408.37 is what you would definitely have to pay. So I'm asking, are you paying that today?
So it's $100 off. So it's $50 off a month.
It came. Your bill was like $637.
637.
Are you paying though? Is my question. Do you have the $408.37?
I mean, I'm not paying $408. $408.
He said no. They can go. You can go. Okay.